Good day everyone! Sa lahat ng mga nanonood sa aming video, please like and subscribe. Dahil ngayon, pag-uusapan natin ang Republic Act number 3571.
An act to prohibit the cutting, destroying, or injuring of planted or growing trees, flowering plants, and shrubs, or plants of scenic value along public roads, in plazas, parks, school premises, or any other public pleasure ground.
So meaning, this law is made to preserve and protect plants and trees for the in public areas for the benefit of the environment and the community.
Section 1, Objective. First is to promote and conserve the beauty of objects of scenic and ornamental value along public places. The second one is to help preserve cool, fresh, and healthful climate. So, the law aims to keep public places beautiful by protecting plants and trees and to maintain a fresh, cool, and healthy environment for people. So the policy. It is the policy of the government. First is to cherish, protect, and conserve planted or growing trees, flowering plants, and shrubs, or plants of ornamental value along public roads, in plazas, parks, school premises, or any other public ground. So, in the section 1, the government policy is to take care of and protect trees and plants in public places like roadsides, parks, school, and plazas because they are important for beauty, the environment, and the well-being of the community. So what are the requisites for exemption? First is the necessary for public safety. So it is needed for public safety. For example, a tree might fall and cause harm. The second one is necessary to enhance its beauty. So pruning or trimming makes the area more beautiful. Muna siya ang example ani. And the third one is the recommendation for the committee and upon the approval of the Director of Park and Wildlife. So, it can only be done with the recommendation from the proper committee and the approval from the Director of Parks and Wildlife. Section 2, Power of Director of Parks and Wildlife. So, first, the power of Director of Parks and Wildlife can create a committee in every municipality in the Philippines. And number 2, power to issue and promulgate rules and regulations as may be necessary and carrying out the provision of this act. Who compose the committee? So first is the chairman. Chairman or a civic conscious and well-traveled citizen. So ex-officio members are the following. First is the municipal mayor. Second one is the municipal treasurer. The third one is supervising school teacher. And the last one is the municipal health officer. Power and duties of the committee. Coordinate with the Director of Park and Wildlife in the beautification of their respective locality. In short, the director organized a local committee with government officials and a civic-minded citizen to help protect trees and plants. And under its supervision, requires school children or Arbor Day to plant trees and flowering plants of useful and scenic value in places provided in the preceding paragraph. So, the committee is mandated to coordinate with the Director of Parks and Wildlife in the implementation of beautification programs within their municipality. It is also responsible for supervising Arbor Day activities requiring school children to plant trees and flowering plants of scenic and practical value in designated public areas. The Director of Parks and Wildlife operating under the Biodiversity Management Bureau or BMB of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources or DENR is responsible for overseeing the conservation and management of terrestrial and marine ecosystem, protected areas, wildlife, and biodiversity resources. In fulfilling this role, DENR and DMB, the Director of Parks and Wildlife, is under the Biodiversity Management Bureau or DENR, sila ang nagdumala sa conservation sa forest, wildlife o biodiversity sa Pilipinas. So, what is Arbor Day? Arbor Day is a special day dedicated to the planting and care of trees. The term arbor comes from the Latin word meaning tree. So, in the Philippines, Arbor Day was first declared through Proclamation number 30 by President Manuel Rojas in 1947, setting its observance every second Saturday of September in school and communities. So, ang Arbor Day is a day for planting and caring of trees in the Philippines. It was first declared in 1947, then revived by RA 10176 in 2012, setting June 25 as Arbor Day nga gi-require tanang LGU o communities nga mo participate sa tree planting.
Section 3. What is prohibited? No cutting, destroying, or injuring of planted or growing trees, flowering plants, and shrubs or plants of scenic value along public roads and plazas, parks, school premises, or any other public grounds. So meaning we cannot cut, destroy, or damage trees, flowering plants, shrubs, or any plants nga naa sa magagandang tanawin nga naa sa public roads, parks, plazas, schools, or any other public places. So, bisan unsa nga mga tanong sa public area dili gid nato na pwede hilabtan or bukon, wala tay rights ana kanay nagkuan ana nga which is the Republic Act 3571. So there are exemptions allowed only when the first exemptions allowed only when if it is necessary for public safety. Example, kung ang kaulapit na mahulog kung makadaot siya sa tao or sa property, man siya examples. Next is the pruning or trimming is needed to make the plant look better. Kung kinahanglan ang pruning or trimming para ma-improve ang beautifications, para mas nindot tan-awon ang usa ka lugar or places. Take note, bisan pag ato ang tanong, dili ka pwede automatic na muputol ana. Kinahanglan na siya moagi sa legal process. Okay, next, the conditions before cutting or pruning. The first one is must have a recommendations from the committee mentioned in the previous sections of the law,
Which is the Director of Parks and Wildlife.
okay? So, there must be a recommendations from the committee, no? Katong mga grupo nga gi-organize sa municipality. Next is must be approved by the Director of the Park and Wildlife. So, kinahanglan siya approval from the Director of Parks and Wildlife, no? Before cutting or pruning. The actual cutting, pruning, or removal must be supervised by the committee. Okay, the committee, as what discussed earlier, is composed by the chairman, ex officio member. No, dili pwede nga ikaw na mag-vote-vote o putol, no? Kinahanglan na recommendations, approval, o actual supervisions. Gikan sa committee aron sure ang nga legal ang process. Para kita mga preso, guys. Section 3 makes us clear nga ang plants and trees are protected by law. Dili pwede putlon kung wala tayong mga klarong rason o walay approval. And kung suba ko na ito na natay violations, makakita na ito sa section 4 which I discussed sunod. Okay. Violation nga punishable by law. Let's proceed to section 4 which is the penalty. Section 4, any person who shall cut, destroy, or injure trees, flowering plants, and shrubs or plants of scenic value mentioned in the preceding scenarios of this act shall be punished by prison correctional in its minimum period to prison mayor in its minimum period. So the penalty, anyone who violates the law will face imprisonment. Imprisonment correctional, the 6 months and 1 day to 6 years. So, ang Persian Mayor, minimum 6 years and 1 day to 12 years. Na mo, dili mo magputol-putol pataka din ha. Dapat mo lagi kita sa legal process. So, kung imo putlon o bubo ng kahoy nga protected, pwede ka mapriso. Tako kayo ng sala niyo. Okay, next, section 5. All laws, acts, parts of acts, executive order, and administrative orders or regulations inconsistent with the provisions of this act are hereby repealed. Okay, section 5, repealing laws. All laws nga conflict ani nga acts are repealed. Aron klaro nga kini nga balaod dapat masunod or masunod gyud siya. Okay, section 6. Last but not the least. Section 6. The act shall take effect upon its approval. So, section 6 effectively, this law became official. After approval, so automatic siya ma-implement dayon. Automatic siya na i-implement dayon.
So, ang RA 3571 is about protecting public trees and plants kay sila mao ang naghatag og fresh air, beauty ug healthy environment sa community. Cutting or destroying them without legal reason is a crime nga naay corresponding penalty sa revised penal code levels of imprisonment. So, dapat dili ta magpataka og putol og kahoy kay pwede ta mapriso ana. Okay guys, okay.